Hey, what's up everyone? How you doing? It's Monday, it's 2:30 in the afternoon and it's time for chair yoga. Thank you so much for joining. Yeah, let's see how we get on today. I've got a few things that I'd like to do with us, starting very relaxed, and it will probably stay quite relaxed, but we'll move in a way that hopefully feels nourishing. And then we'll just see where it goes from there, right? But I do have a bit of a plan, which is nice. Make sure your chair is nice and sturdy. Hopefully 4 legs, right? I never like to practice on a stool. I don't think it's kind of stable enough. But it might be your favorite chair that you sit in a lot. So yeah, make sure you're comfortable. That's the main thing. We get half an hour, so I think we should just drop straight into it. If it's your first time, then a wholehearted welcome. This is the way that I sit on my chair. You don't have to follow what I do. I think it's a nice pointer just to find a nice relaxed position. So you see, I don't sit on the back of my chair. I make sure my spine is nice and long. You can join me and do that, right? You don't have to. Okay, let's root our feet down into the floor. You see, I use this, my chair, as I say, it's quite sturdy, so I'll kind of move around quite a lot in my chair, just so I feel comfortable. I've usually got a little bit of energy in my body, so I just kind of work out what is going on. I'll have a little adjust through my clothes. It's autumnal, right? So I've got my jumper back on, my sweatshirt. So make sure you're warm enough. Okay, I've got a little bit of heating on today, which always upsets me. I don't like putting the heating on. Okay, so a nice starting position. Maybe bring the hands onto your thighs, onto your knees, palms up, palms down. Lengthen your spine. Have a little, I don't know, intuitive move around here, maybe through the shoulders. Notice how the back of the neck feels. And what we'll do is we'll start in a way that we normally start, where we'll just drop our chin down towards our sternum. Make sure your spine still feels relatively long. You might close your eyes. All of these kind of things that I say at the start, I can't get my words out, are kind of guidance, they're suggestions. And maybe you just rock your chin a little side to side. Now we'll be here for a little bit of time today. So just kind of freeing up the back of the neck, little movements. Just dropping your attention inwards, I guess. And just be on the lookout at how this feels. Never kind of push too far. And then if you wanted to, at this point, as normal, you can circle your head out. So you might inhale your head up, you might exhale as your chin falls down. You just pick a direction. Noticing any kind of sensations that feel, I don't know, reasonable, right? Maybe there's a little bit of strain in the neck, maybe a little bit of tightness. Be very careful with that. And then eventually you'll inhale your head back to center. Take a full exhale when your head is nice and balanced on top of your neck, and then just come back the other way. One side might feel a little different to the other. I'm always, I don't know, it's a habit and I don't think about it, but I always move my head left to right and then right to left. And this right to left side, this second side, I always feel a little bit more tension. Or I can hear that tension in my neck. So just be on the lookout. Maybe you want to move a little slower. And then eventually bring your head all the way back to center. I'm going to yawn. Yawning's really good, by the way. It's part of your nervous system just dropping into this nice relaxed state. You know, people say, oh, stop yawning. Oh, and sometimes you yawn because you're tired, right? But usually you yawn because you're relaxed. I watch Leicester City Football Club, and I usually yawn when I'm watching Leicester City. That's not because I'm relaxed, it's because I'm bored. But there we go. But when I'm doing yoga, if I yawn, then you know, I generally feel nice and relaxed. All right, let's move through a little bit from cat-cow. So you'll bring your hands with the palms face down onto your knees or your thighs, wherever your hands kind of hold on to that feels quite reasonable, not too much of a strain. And then from here, inhale, drop your belly down, lift your head, lift your heart, and you might even look up towards your ceiling. And so you hear your spine is long. I'm pushing my belly forwards, right? So I feel that kind of lengthening through my lower spine. And there's a little bit of activation there. I can really feel that stretch. As I exhale, I'm going to tuck my navel back towards my spine, around my spine and my shoulders, and tuck my chin in. So we just did this in the pose earlier when we were moving our head out. Inhale to lengthen, maybe look up, exhale to round, maybe tuck the chin in and look down towards the floor. And just move like that, just for a few rounds. As you inhale, spine lengthens, head and the heart lift. As you exhale, you round into your spine. So this is seated cat-cow. This is a really beautiful way to access the spine, those sort of tight spots where we feel tension. And what I'm going to encourage you to do is not to move in a way that feels, I don't know, too fast or too powerful. Make sure the movements are kind of really considered and slow. Because we can build this, right, over the weeks and the months and the years, hopefully, where we just have a regular, steady practice. If we do a little bit of chair yoga every week, then that can have a really big effect and also have a really nice routine in our days. And I generally do these classes on a Monday or a Tuesday. Start the week, right? We start the week off fresh and we get to just spend a little bit of time with ourselves, our body, our breath, right? That's all we're doing. Doesn't have to be too complicated. All right, inhale to bring the spine long. Look up one final time. And exhale, this time back to a neutral spine. Beautiful. And then just give the hands a little shake out. Maybe left hand, right hand. Maybe just kind of shake out the fingers. And then you might bring the hands back onto the thighs or the knees and just shrug your shoulders up. Just like that. Dead simple. Exhale, drop them down. Inhale up, exhale down. So on that exhale, you're really dropping your shoulder blades down your back. Like releasing any tension. And you might do it this way, one shoulder at a time. Stay nice and relaxed through the face, through the jaw. Keep the back of your head, the back of your neck nice and long. Nice. All right, a couple more. And then relax completely. Beautiful. All right. We'll do a little bit of breath work in a moment. Nice and simple. But from here, bring the hands back onto the knees and just kind of circle your torso out. Pick a direction. And, you pick a movement that feels good for you. I am thinking about the four corners of my feet. I'm kind of rooting my feet down, if you can do that. And then I'm just circling my torso out. I might kind of make it a little more pronounced today. And I'm rolling one shoulder forward, rolling the other shoulder back. Nice big circles. Nice and slow, though. And I'm just kind of freeing up those tight spots, especially in my back. But I feel it a little in my hips as well, right? It feels nice and freeing. Inhale, come back to center. Nice. Take a full exhale and then just come back in the opposite direction. Good amount of creaking going on in my chair. It's not my spine, even though sometimes it feels like it wants to do that. If you feel like there is tension in your spine, smaller circles, right? So you might be here and just thinking about your navel, keeping your spine long and just drawing smaller circles. Or maybe you really begin to make the movements a little more expansive, right? Your choice. Couple more. And then inhale, come back to center. All right, beautiful work. Okay, let's do a little bit of breath work. Why don't we do a mudra, just because it's good fun to do that. Mudra is just a hand position. Make sure that you feel nice and relaxed. Bring your hands. So you're going to bring your little fingers together, your thumbs together, and then bring your hands together, just like that. All right, so that's your mudra. Just like that, all right? So if you turn the palms forward, turn the palms back, you've got this kind of connection. Okay, so what we're going to do with this mudra is we're just going to place the thumbs onto the heart center, kind of encourage the heart space to lift and the shoulders to relax. And then we're just going to do a little bit of 5-5-5 breath. So we're just going to inhale, just go with me on this for a count of around 5 through the nose. And then at the top, pause the breath for, again, the same amount of time. And then when you feel ready, exhale through the nose for a count of around 5. Let's do one more like that. Inhale through the nose for 5. Lungs are full. Pause the breath at the top. Exhale for 5. It's 2 rounds. Inhale. Top of the inhale, pause. Eyes can be closed or the gaze is just down towards your fingertips. Exhale through the nose. Inhale. Lungs are full, pause. Exhale. And really feel the quality of your breath here. A few more. Inhale. Pause. Exhale. Inhale. Pause. Exhale. Beautiful. 2 more rounds. Inhale. Pause. Exhale. Inhale. Pause. Exhale. And if you're using this mudra, this little hand position, bring the hands down, maybe onto the knees, the thighs, palms up or palms down. Your eyes are closed. Maybe keep the eyes closed and just breathe normally, or just breathe in this nice yogic breath. So inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the nose. And maybe at this point, just check in with your practice. Notice what you're noticing. And for me, I feel a little bit different. We're about halfway through the class, so a little bit of movement, a little bit of awareness through my breath. Things feel like there's, I don't know, a little bit more balance in my body, a little bit more clarity. I feel a little calmer, a little more relaxed. If you had your eyes closed, come with your eyes open. Beautiful work. When I look over my shoulder, I'm looking at the clock. Sometimes I have a phone set up and I have the timer running, but sometimes I don't like looking at a timer. I want to make it a little bit more relaxing. So if I'm looking over there, then excuse me for doing that. I'm just keeping an eye on the time. All right, what we're going to do from here, we're going to do a little bit of work through our torso, through our arms. We're going to do some twisting. We're going to do some side bends. So you might need to adjust your seat. What I do is I'll shuffle forward a little bit more because I've sort of sat back a little bit, and then I'm going to widen my legs, not too wide, right? So if I'm here, my knees are just slightly dropping in. I press into the edges of my feet. You see, I just do that little movement. So that's quite natural. This is a little bit more activation through my spine. So I feel it in my adductor muscles running up the inside of my legs. That feels quite nice, all right? Beautiful work. Okay, what I'd like us to do is bring both arms up. Inhale. Keep the palms face down. Find that expansion through your chest and really engage your shoulders, and then move a little side to side. So we do this quite a lot, right, in these classes, but we're doing it today with these slightly wider legs, keeping the legs engaged. And you might inhale and exhale. So inhale to one side, exhale to center. Inhale to the other side. Exhale to center in your own rhythm. So it's nice side to side movement. And then the next time you come back to center, bring your left hand down. So left hand is on the right knee. Inhale, right arm up. Nice. As you exhale, little side bend over towards the left. So you're creating all this space right down this right hand side of your body. If it feels too much with the arm long, place it on the back of your head. Maybe you bend into the elbow, right? So you've got this version. But if you can keep the arm lifted, take a deep inhale, lengthen from fingertip down to toes. Take a full exhale. Nice. Inhale, come back to center. Bring the left arm back up and then just do that little side to side movement. Now you might speed it up a little bit, but not too fast, right? Remember, it's never about speed. Keep breathing deeply. You don't have to kind of match the movement with breath, but make sure that you're breathing, right? Don't hold your breath. Inhale back to center. Exhale, this time right arm down. Inhale, left arm up. Lengthen, press down into the feet. Tuck your tailbone under, which means, the back of your spine kind of lengthens. So you've got length here more than anything. Exhale, little bend over towards the right. So you create that space down the left side. Sometimes it's nice to turn the head and look towards the left. Remember, you can bend the elbow, kind of open out through that left shoulder. Your choice. Generous bend in the arm. That's good, right? Or the arm is long. There's loads of options. One more round of breath. Deep inhale. Take a full exhale. Inhale, bring the arms all the way back up. This time, go crazy and bring the palms so they're face up. Take an inhale. Take an exhale. Next time, inhale, bring the arms all the way back up, or all the way up for the first time, I should say. Hands into prayer if you can. Exhale, bring the hands down through your heart center. We're going to do that 3 more times. Inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, draw the hands down. So just matching movement with breath. Inhaling up. Exhale down. One more time. Inhale up. And exhale down. Beautiful. Nice. All right. Inhale the arms back up. Same thing again. As you exhale, bring the left hand down. Inhale the right arm up. Instead of doing this nice little side bend we've been doing, as you exhale, open the right arm to the right. All right, so that feels like a much deeper stretch, right? A little bit of a twist. If you wanted to, you can bring the left arm in play. Maybe look down the right fingers. Deep inhale and a full exhale. This time with the palms facing forward. Inhale, bring the hands back. As you exhale, bring the hands down. Keep the right hand rooted. Inhale, left arm up. One final time. Exhale, left arm over to the right. Inhale to center, bring the left hand down. All right. Inhale, right arm all the way up. And then from here, just open that right arm out. Stay here if you want, or open the left arm out and then twist towards the left. So we just come to the other side. Inhaling, exhaling as you go. Really root down through the feet. Now, I know the legs have been active for quite some time now. If you've kind of lost that engagement, press into the outer edges of your feet. Inhaling, exhaling as you go. Nice deep inhale. And a full exhale. Nice. Inhale, come all the way back to center. As you exhale, bring the right hand down. Inhale, left arm over towards the left. Swap it out. Exhale, right arm over to the left. Nice. So inhale and exhale. Inhale. Just swapping the arms out. Exhale. One more time. Inhale and exhale. Beautiful. Inhale, bring the hands all the way back up. Bring the palms this time facing backwards. So turn the palms so you get a much bigger rotation of the shoulders. As you exhale, drop the hands all the way down. Bring them onto the outer knees. Heel, toe, your feet in. Yeah, really nice. All right. Make any adjustments. Have a little shrug out for your shoulders. Plenty of work that we've just done there. We are going to bring it all together with some sun salutations towards the end like we normally do. But for now, just lift up through your right leg. If you can't grab around the knee or the shin, just hold around the back of the right leg. Remember, I said last week, you can get those resistance straps or bands, and you can maybe, if you feel like it's too much of a struggle to come down this far, then you can bring a strap or a tea towel, right? Hold on to a tea towel, roll it up, remember for the next class. Or you're with me and you're just kind of opening out through this hip, right? Just little movements. Nice. Bring the right foot down. Have any little adjustment that feels good. Hold around the left knee or the left shin or the back of the left leg. Or remember, grab that tea towel or strap, whatever works. Keep your shoulders nice and relaxed, right? We've done a lot of work there. Spine nice and long. And then bring that left foot down. All right. Okay. This time, have the feet a little narrower and then just kind of do this little external rotation of both legs at the same time. So just a tiny little bit of movement. You can even bring the hands onto the thighs, right? That can feel quite nice. Beautiful. All right. Fantastic. Okay, from here, root down through the left foot. Lift up through the right foot again. And then what you're going to do is you're going to come into pigeon pose. So this is where we place the right foot over the left thigh. Now, if you already know that that's not going to be available to you, I'd like you to place the right foot just on the blade edge, the outer edge of the right foot, just like that, right? That's an external rotation of the hip. It's good enough, right? For a lot of people, there's a stretch. I can feel that in my right hip. But some people like to go a little further. Flex the right toes, no pain in the knee, right? If you feel anything going on here, I want you to come out of this pose straight away. I don't want you to aggravate anything going on in the knee. Always look after yourself. Deep inhale, full exhale. Your choice. You can stay with the spine nice and long, or as you exhale, you might begin just to rotate the torso forward and come into a forward fold. So just a little bend. As soon as I begin to do that, you see my torso folds forward. I feel it quite strongly in that outer right hip and outer glute, right? I don't want to push too far. As you inhale, come back to center. As you exhale, bring the legs down. And then same thing again. We're going to go to the other side. Blade edge of the left foot, external rotation of the left knee. The hip begins to open, right? That's enough for a lot of people. If not, come to the other side. I just use my hands to kind of support myself. And then same thing again, tuck the toes back on the left leg. Sometimes I'll use my right hand just to kind of encourage the toes back. That stabilizes the knee. You can sit nice and tall. Root down through the four corners of that right foot. And as you exhale, what you might do is just bring the torso forward just a tiny bit, right? Feels good. Deep inhales and full exhales. Take one more round of breath like that. Your deepest inhale and your fullest exhale. Beautiful. Wherever you found yourself, come out. Nice. Bring the feet back down. Have a little dynamic movement side to side. So I like to do it this way. Make sure you've got enough room. We've already moved like this, right? But make sure you've got enough room to swing. Right hand on the heart. Inhale, left arm to the left. Exhale, right arm to the right. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. So we just shake that little bit of energy up. We've done plenty of twisting. We've done plenty of movement through the upper body. So now we just kind of bring some of that stuff together. A couple more times either side. And then slowly come back to center. Beautiful. Nice. Re-lengthen your spine. Relax your shoulders. Maybe close your eyes. Just check in. A couple of breaths. And then from here, just a few rounds of sun salutations. So we'll bring a lot of these pieces together. You're going to root down through the feet. You're going to inhale, bring the arms all the way up. Nice. Hands can be together, or you can just pause here, right? As you exhale, comb the arms down and just be on the lookout here, but you might forward fold, right? Make sure there's no strain in your spine. From here, we come to that flat back position. So my fingertips are on the floor. Yours might be a little higher. Inhale, just draw the hands up the knees or up the shins towards the knees. Shoulders are relaxed. Exhale, let the head go and forward fold. Inhale to come all the way back up. Sweep your hands high and wide. And then exhale, hands to your heart. So that's one round. So we'll do a few rounds just with me instructing the movements and the breath and nothing else. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale to come up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Upward round two. Let's keep going. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale to come up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale to come up, hands above the head. Exhale, hands to the heart. Two more. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Use your breath to drive the movement. Inhale, lengthen. Here's your flat back, shoulders relaxed, spine lock. Exhale, fold. Inhale to come up. Exhale, hands to heart. One more. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale to come up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Nice. Keep the hands coming down. Same thing again, like we've been doing all the way through the class. Maybe have a little readjust. See how that feels. Little lengthening through the spine. And then what we're going to do is just going to be here for the rest of the class. Okay, so you can sit back on your chair now. You know, if you want to get really relaxed and come into a shavasana, you can stay here, or as I was going to say, you can stay as you are, like I am. So this is one option, right? This is a bit more relaxing. Some people bring the legs long. If you've got a cushion or a pillow, or you can even bring the heels on the floor, right? So you can be here. Sometimes with chair yoga, I like to just stay in this kind of more, I don't know, meditative shape. So I'll re-lengthen my spine. I'll make sure my shoulders are relaxed, and then I'll close my eyes. All your personal choice, right? But just to let you know, we'll be here for just a couple of minutes. Finding stillness, noticing the effects of our practice together. And then from here, just really gently, slowly, bring a tiny little bit of movement back in. Just really small movements. You might just give your fingers a little wriggle out, maybe your toes, and then maybe your ankles. If your eyes are closed, you might open your eyes. I'd say we did plenty of work through the arms, through the upper body. So if you want to give the upper body a little stretch out, kind of move a little side to side, maybe twist to one side, twist to the other, and then bringing your hands one final time to your heart center, and then with a wholehearted bow, wishing yourself well, wishing everybody else well. Namaste. Nicely done, you guys. Thank you for joining today. This is the first class of since the clocks went back, right? So we're in autumn, right in the middle of autumn. Sometimes it's hard to kind of motivate ourselves when things are a little quieter, a little bit colder outside. The dark nights are here, right? Try and stay in a routine. I think, a lot of us can suffer from this, seasonal affective disorder. I think people call it, where, they can feel really low in the autumn and in the winter. Sometimes, people will say, well, we need more time to kind of relax and to chill, but we also need to energize our body and move as well. So make sure that see if you can make sure. It seems a little bit harsh, doesn't it? But see if you can get into a little routine over the autumn and the winter. If it's 2 classes a week, if it's something that I do, and then you do something like Pilates, or you do the amazing meditation with Max, You know, there's lots of nice movement classes, right? Hit with Andy. There's lots of dance classes as well. Laughter yoga, which kind of gets us out of that sometimes feeling tight and stuck. So much good stuff on the virtual village hall. So I wholeheartedly recommend it. A nice balance of things can really serve you well. And what an amazing practice chair yoga is, right? Because we can do so much in a chair. It doesn't have to be that we go outside and we power around and, you know, everything has to be super, super energetic. The energy that we will bring in a chair can be quite subtle, but let me tell you, it's such a great way to move our bodies, right? It stops us kind of getting, I don't know, kind of tight and stuck, and then everything becomes such a challenge. So keep at it, guys. It's really lovely to teach to you all. Thank you to the Virtual Village Hall as well. Thank you, Jackie. Thank you, Glenys. Thank you, Irene. Really lovely to have you along. Thank you for commenting as well. And I'll be back here on Thursday for mat yoga. A lot of that stuff we can do in a chair as well. So don't think it's beyond you. A lot of the things that we do on the mat is kind of chair yoga based class, right? We run a thread from one class to the other. So you'd be more than welcome to join us for that and just see what you can do. All right, you guys, you have a great week and I'll see you all on Thursday. Namaste. See you later. Bye now.